Hi, Alex here from Rebeloper.com, and in this video I am going to show you how you can remove elements from the scene. So without further ado, let's get started. So in the last episode we have added some elements, and that is a box to our, let me just close this. We have added a box to our scene, and that was pretty straightforward because all we needed to do is create an SCN node, give it a geometry of a box, and added a first material diffuse as our material. And of course we had to position it and add it to our scene's root node. Now if you don't know what I was talking about in the last 15 seconds, go ahead and take a look at the previous video so you may be clear on this. Now let us move on and learn how you can remove these SCN nodes from our scene. But before we do that, let us just use that extension that I have provided in the previous video, that is random floats, and we will randomly position our boxes, because now if you just run the app and tap the plus button multiple times, of course a node is added, but it is added at a single position and you can't see that there are multiple boxes on the scene. So just before we create, well, first of all, let us create a new branch from our current branch, and I will just name this. Now let's go back to our game view controller, and I've forgotten this in the previous, well, not in previous, in a more recent video. We have used the LBTA components to anchor our AR view, field super view, and what I have missed is that you can safely comment this line out that says view translates auto resizing mask into constraints equals to false, and you may not use this line ever for any of your items because it is already included in the anchor function provided by the LBTA components. Okay, next up is to add our box node in various positions of our scene. So to do that, we will use this extension of our float that is a random minimum and maximum. Go ahead and take a look at the code if you wish. Now let us go ahead and select our SCN vector 3, and for the X value let's add our float, and if you add a dot here, you should have a random minimum, and here we add a float that will be, let's see, minus, well, let's add it minus 1.0, and a maximum of, well, not that further. Let's add this minus 0.5 because I just really can't stand up and show you everything, and maybe some elements will be behind my back. So 0.5 is to go, and 0.5, that is half a meter. Okay, for the next one, the same float, random, minus 0.5, minus 0.5, and again for our X value we will add the same. Now let's test it out. Okay, let's select our device and let us just build and run, and it should be running, and now it will get the phone's region. So let us just wait a few seconds for that. Once we see this region and maybe those yellow dots, we are ready to go. So let us just tap on the plus button and add a random box. Where is it? Did we add it? Let's tap again. Yeah, there it is. Maybe it is under the table. Well, maybe not. It shouldn't have been under the table. I probably did not tap. Okay, here it is again. Oh, where is it? Yeah, there they are. Yep, a lot of randomly positioned boxes. Okay, now, what else do we need? Yes, that is all, because now we are going to remove all of these boxes, and for that we are going to add a new button, and that will be a minus button. So for now, let us just start by adding our asset here, and it will be this minus button that I have prepared, and we are going to go forward as we did with the plus button. So go ahead and go to the game view controller, find your plus button declarations, and let's just copy and paste everything here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and take a look at the previous video where I add a UI button to an ARKit game. So let us just rename this to minus button width, and here we have our minus button. Okay, and we should change the corner radius to the minus button width multiplied by 0.5. Okay, and let us just rename this selector handle minus button tabbed. Let's just copy and paste it to the Objective-C function, and I will retype our print statement tapped on minus button, and here instead of adding a button we will remove box. First of all, let's remove all of the boxes. Remove all boxes. Okay, now let us create this function, and now let's type in here func remove all boxes, and this is fairly simple. We just enumerate all of the boxes. So and let's add our SCN node here, node, and we don't need an unsafe mutable pointer here, so let's just type in here underscore, and now we want to type in a node remove from parent node. Okay, and that should fix it. Now let's build and run and see the issues that we might encounter, will encounter actually, when we use this kind of code. Okay, let's wait for it to load. Let's see our origin. It should load right about now. Now let's add a few boxes here. Okay, where are they? Here we go. Here's one box, another. Let's add a lot of boxes. Okay, we have a few here. Great. Now let us, well, yeah, those of you who were paying attention, you might have noticed that I did not add the minus button, so let us just quickly do that. Add to the sub view minus button, and now let's anchor this minus button to the right bottom corner of our view. So top anchor will be nil, left will be nil also, so I'm just simply Command X to copy this out and type in nil. And for the right anchor, let's paste that in and change the left anchor to the right anchor. Okay, left constant should be 0, of course, and right constant should be 24. And one last thing to change that I have forgot is to change this minus buttons to the yeah, let's just build now, and let's hope for the completion minus button. There it is. Now let's build and run again, and let's see that error that we get, and most probably we will get a crash on this. Okay, let's wait for it. Okay, there we have our minus button already, and now let's add a few boxes here. Let's see, where are our boxes? Yeah, you can see all of them here. Maybe add some more to see them. Okay, here we have some boxes, and now let's remove them. Okay, and as you can see, where did the origin go? And let's remove again. Okay, and sometimes this crashes the app, and we don't want to remove this origin And that is because the origin is added as nodes, okay? And sometimes those yellow buttons, yellow buttons, yes, let's call them yellow buttons, yellow dots are removed too, where some of them are. And when the app cannot find those nodes, it just simply crashes. And that is because we want to remove all of them. So we enumerate through all the childs in the root node and we remove all of them. Well, we don't want to do that. And for that, we want to name our boxes so we can reference them and remove only the nodes that are named box. So let's type in here box node.name equals to box. Okay, and now let us just check if the name of the node is box. So we just remove that node from the parent, and this is much more convenient. This way we will just simply remove only the boxes. So let's test it out. Okay, let's wait for it. Load the origin. Okay, here we go. Let's add a few boxes here and there. Let's find them. Maybe I should have made them available only on the front of the camera. Well, here we are. We have 3 boxes. And now let us just remove them all without the origin. Okay, here we go. Good stuff. And we don't have a crash anymore. Okay, now you know how you can remove a certain node with a name from your scene. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to know more about Rebeloper or what we represent, go ahead and take a look at our site rebeloper.com. And of course, subscribe to this channel if you like the videos, and I will see you in the next one.